dark beige.
What's going on, Mike? This is Desmond Clark, former tight end of your Chicago Bears.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Halas Hall Report.
Defense has been playing too good. So I'm going to take the Bears in a rare shootout.
I mean, if that offensive line, we get some help for that one. We in our draft and everything, we need to focus on our offense.
You know, he's going to be on a roll here today. I think he's at least going to have 2 sacks.
Doing it all year long, so if you stop those two guys, who else they got?
Robbie to go. I mean, he took out Aaron for
us. Scored that touchdown, got the 1-point lead with 61 seconds left.
Dalton runs the offense a little better than Fields, as long as the offensive line can somewhat hold up.
Welcome to the next episode of Halas Hall Report. How's everybody doing Sunday morning?
Good.
Yeah.
I was waiting for Woody. He's usually the first one.
Yeah, I'm behind today. Don't worry.
But we're about 2 months away from the NFL draft, and we only have 5 picks in this year's draft. So I feel like they're going to look towards a little bit of free agency this year. Not sure what you guys think of the offensive lineman that's on the free agency. Got this from actually CJ, and I appreciate it, buddy. But who do you guys think they're going to look at in free agency-wise? Because literally on the list, there's quite a few people on the list, but unfortunately we only have so much money. So from Jermaine, which we had him last year, I really don't want to see him back. I'd rather see someone else. My person on this list right here would be Morgan Moses from the Jets. That's who I would like to see. And it would cost probably between $3 and $4 million roughly.
I don't. I know a lot of people disagree with me with this. I don't think that the Bears are going to sign any free agent linemen.
Not one?
Nope.
Yeah, I agree with that. The lineman, I agree with. Depends, because we need, like me and Mike were talking the other day, we need a big receiver, tall, like an Alshon Jeffrey, because I don't think A-Rob's going to come back. And if we have all short receivers. We need that big receiver that can go up and get him. So
I'd really like to see him sign DJ Chark. That's
from the Jags.
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know that he'll be available. It all depends on, seeing that they have a new coach. So you really don't know. And he's kind of injury prone, but the guy is tall, and I don't think people realize how fast that guy is. I mean, I think he's sub 4.4 if I'm not mistaken at his height, and I think he's around 6'5".
Right around. I know I've heard that through the chats and the other groups and stuff that I'm in, and also the name comes across Juju as well. I look into it and think of it, I'd more want the Clark because it might be a little cheaper.
Right.
And we don't have a lot of money, really, honestly, really don't.
Well,
we got 5 picks. So I don't really see them looking at everything in the draft. You only got 5 picks.
Yeah,
and the number 1 pick is we're hurting at receiver. We only have 1 receiver on the books. Yeah. So are they going to look for like an offensive receiver, or do you think they're going to go offensive line?
I think it's receiver then center. That's just my opinion. Pick that receiver first, then get a center.
Well, Bears Wire just made a post this morning about a mock draft. I'm not sure if anybody's seen it or not, but they're saying our first pick, which is round 2, pick 39 from North Dakota State, wide receiver Christian Watson. He made the Senior Bowl. Not sure what you guys think about him. Do you know him, Jason?
Yeah, he was one of the guys that they mentioned, but honestly, I feel more like they're gonna use the draft for a lineman that they could work on, because there's just so many names out there in
What
free
line-
agency for wide receivers. I mean, it's a really stacked set of names in free agency for wide receiver. I mean, some of the guys are going to be big money, but I honestly feel like they're going to clear a lot of cap space this year with there being a new regime and coaching staff. I think a lot of these guys that have been underperforming and getting highly paid are going to get their walking papers, man. To be honest with you, I think they're going to clear some space, and I think this kid Poles is looking to make a splash, and I hope I'm right, because they really need a significant change. I mean, it's just like they got a lot of talent on the roster, but looking good on paper don't mean shit on the field. I mean,
But how much
really
do you think they're going to spend on it? What are they willing to pay somebody?
Well, I think they're gonna clear some. I think they're gonna clear some big cap space, because there's some guys on their team.
Who are you thinking?
Well, yeah, who are you referring to?
Yeah.
Well,
Danny,
General?
Trevathan, I think, is going to be gone. That's one of the ones I think that they're going to cut. I mean, it makes sense. They got a good linebacking core right now. I mean, I think he's expendable. He hadn't even been there all year, and they look good at linebacker.
So you think they re-sign Ogletree?
I hope.
Because overall, he came from the Giants, and when he stepped in, he played great.
Yep.
I think they're going to keep him.
When Danny Trevathan was on the field more, he's not very good in pass coverage. He's pretty terrible in pass coverage. He's more to stop the run.
Right.
Ogletree is better in pass coverage.
Yeah, I think I don't think that he's going to be, highly expensive either. I think Trevathan makes sense to cut to me too, because he's on the decline of his career also. I mean, he had been a good player.
You think they'll cut Goldman?
Oh, Goldman, I think, is going to be gone. There's a lot of people that disagree with that, but that's a big chunk of money you'll get back there.
Like is it 6 or something? 6 million?
Yeah, I forget the cap figures, but it's somewhere around there.
As you were saying, people would be gone, and people that get paid up underperforming. And unfortunately, our highest paid player, I feel like he should reconstruct, give a little money back, because he hasn't even been 100% healthy, and we gave the world to a Mac. Highest paid player on the team, give a little back so we can have some help this year. Like, he's getting paid well, 100%. And like I said, he's been hurt. Didn't even play last year. They took him out. Year before that, played all year with an injury. Like, is he actually going to be 100% healthy?
Yeah, I mean, I think he should. I think he should at least, as far as reconstruction his contract, at least about 30%.
Yeah,
that's what I'm. At least that's what I'm saying.
He's making $31 million this year.
Yep.
30 or 31, right
30.
around. That's a shit ton, especially when some of these quarterbacks are getting $30 million. Our highest paid guy on offense, do you know who it is on the books right now?
Isn't it? Shit.
Our top 10, I believe our 10th highest paid player is Justin Fields.
From a rookie contract.
Yes. And our 2 highest paid is Quinn and Mac.
Sure.
And Quinn played, I thought, outstanding last year. Outstanding in certain categories.
He's
like
pressuring
the
quarterback.
We'll
that's
see.
for sure.
We'll see with these defensive change. I mean, now Mac has to probably put his hand down, and he don't like that. But we'll see what happens.
After reading that report that CJ shared about Cohen, I think they should cut him too. Personally.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna bring up.
Cohen's one of the big names that everybody's been talking about being possibly cut. I don't know if Cohen will be one of the ones that will get cut because, I mean, they do have a lot of running backs.
Yeah, we don't need him.
Yeah, he's also saying that, you know, he's not even healthy yet. Still, when that report came out, he's still not 100%. That's what I took from it.
And he should be better, but sometimes people just don't heal, you know?
I mean, we can always sign Null back, but Williams is a free agent too, so we don't know what's going on with him.
Yeah, there you go.
We'll have to about the draft and stuff like that. I mean, look what Burrow did with Chase. I mean, the rumor is that that Ohio State wide receiver Chris Olave, they said he might drop to the second round. That might be a good reuniting too with Justin Fields, but we'll see what happens.
Yeah, there was another Ohio State receiver as well that they had in that spot as well. I can't remember what his name was. It was actually another one as well.
But with Mac's injury though, we'll see what happens. It's his foot, so
yeah,
I don't know.
That's pretty concerning to me because
it's tough.
You know, you get your leverage from that. So I don't know.
But I think we should go, like, if we don't get a wide receiver in free agency, we like I said, we need a big one and get a wide receiver and then a center, because I don't think Mustafa is. I mean, I liked him the first couple years he played, but last year he just a lot of holding calls, and so I don't think he's going to pan out.
Well, Woody, what do you think about them moving Whitehair, possibly moving him back to center and possibly getting another guard?
I like Whitehair. I really do. But it might work if he moves back to center. But he did a hell of a job with his position. So
yeah, because I think as far as the center, you know, you're probably right, because more and more I think about it, I think the guards are going to be asking for, you know, a little bit of money this year in free agency. You know, because I've seen how many guards that are out there. I don't know what's the highest asking price is, but I would think it'll be pretty high.
Well, like I said, they got to protect him more. But I think they should have set plays for Justin Fields like they did with Jalen Hurts in Philly. Yeah. You know, Lamar Jackson. Give him like 5 to 10 set plays, you know, and see how he does. But with him running all over the field like he did and getting killed is not going to be good.
Yeah, that's a good point. That's a good point, because I think Nagy pretty much tried to run his whole playbook on him, and you know, I just think at the same time a lot of those plays that he tried to run with him just didn't work. You know, you got to, you know, with a rookie, you got to bring him on slowly. You know,
well, see, look at John Harbaugh. That's a good example right there. He had a rookie backup quarterback, undrafted. The kid looked great in relief, I thought.
Hudley.
Mm-hmm. And it's the same playbook. I mean, they drafted another guy that had the same skill set. I mean, of course he's not as good, but I mean he did pretty good in relief, I thought.
He beat us at his first start.
I mean, there you go. That's the difference between a high quality coach and what we had.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I kind of feel like they sent Justin out there to fail on purpose.
I don't know why, for some reason, like the Bears get on these streaks where they only trade with certain teams, and all their coaches, all their big coaches are like Andy Reid pupils, or you know, they get on those kicks. Like, I don't want anybody that's been trained by Andy Reid. I'm sorry, I don't.
Yeah, they try to go with the winning culture of things, And I think you just have to look at basically what a guy has done with talent at the end of the day. Not to say Andy Reid is the best in that, but I think they try to go with the winning culture too much instead of just getting a guy that that can fit a player's abilities out there.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see what the staff does this year, but the offensive coordinator makes me a little nervous, especially because the guy's never done that job before.
And Daniel Davis is asking what round and what pick. We covered that a couple minutes ago, but we pick in the second round, 39th pick overall. That's
the only rounds I don't think we have picks are the first and the fourth, if I'm correct.
I don't know why this name's eluding me,
Hey,
but
Billy.
there's a lot of talk about a kid from they're talking about the Chiefs won't be able to re-sign him. He's left tackle. Is it Brown Jr.? I don't know why I can't think of the name.
Right.
Does anybody know?
I'm not sure. Or I would already helped you out. But yeah, I'm not sure. And Billy, it's definitely going to be a wild next season. We don't know what's going to happen. We've vamped everything, coaching staff, playbook, schemes, literally everything. So, but yeah, who do you think will get in the offensive line? If you want to jump on, Bud, I sent you the link. Not sure if you got it or not.
Yeah, the guy that I think you're referring to is Orlando Brown Jr. from the Chiefs.
Left tackle.
Left tackle.
Yeah, that was the name that was thrown out there.
Eric Fisher?
Because
Orlando
they're saying that
Brown.
they won't be able to re-sign him because of the money he's going to command.
Well, didn't his dad play for the Rams, correct?
That is correct, I believe. Hold on.
Yeah,
and the center from Tampa Bay was another one that I've been hearing thrown around. Bears rumor circles.
There's a lot of
them. I hate goddamn rumors.
I do too, man. But
God.
Sometimes I hope some of the rumors come true, man.
Right.
Right.
Some of them are just like
out there,
outrageous.
Yeah. Also, next year or in the free agency I think they're going to possibly maybe look at safeties. They're very slim right now at safeties for the free agency wise. There's not very many of them. Do you think they look at a safety at all, help out our defensive backs since we struggled working as a unit together last year?
I mean, I think if they can get Kareem Jackson for not too much, I mean, he's probably the favorite out of this list for me. But if they can get him for, a cheap price, I think that can be a steal for them.
Well, he made $5 million last year, so not saying he's going to make $5 million this year, but it's going to have to be right around 5.
Well, we can call Mike Brown back and see if he wants to play.
Oh, please don't ever say that name around me.
But for what we can afford on our cap, it's literally going to be Daniel Sorensen or people below him, because Daniel is right around $2.5 million last year.
You know what I want to see the Bears do? And this is the stuff I see on TV all the time. I see these big name players getting traded for 6th round draft picks. I want to see that happen for the Bears once. You know what I mean? There's just like when Williams was available and he was having problems with the Commanders now. I was like, why don't the Bears go get him? They need somebody. And instead, they don't even put their name in the hat.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, come on, man.
Yeah, but
I think this kid. Go ahead, CJ.
No, I was going to say, under that old regime, though, how many times did we hear the Bears actually trading 6th round picks and in 7th round picks just to get a guy that's that's a top 20 guy or whatever that a team can't afford to have anymore. when have we heard that? But this is a new regime, so I don't know.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting, but like I said, man, that polls I think is definitely wants to make a splash, and I hope he does it. I'd like to see them make a trade or two if they could. Not even draft pick wise, maybe someone on our team that could fill a void somewhere else.
I pulled up Orlando. I don't think he's coming or going anywhere. He's going to stay there, I think, with the Chiefs.
Well, it's just it was a rumor because they have salary cap issues, and I want to say that the Dolphins have the most cap room, I think, and the Saints are 60 or 70 million over.
Yeah.
And they have nobody.
I mean, that's insane. If I was Sean Payton, I'd retire too. Like, fuck, I don't want nothing to do with this mess.
Right. But if the Bears do pick, say, a wide receiver in the first round or in the second round, their first pick, in the third round, do you think they go for an offensive lineman?
Yeah, I think that's where the center comes in. That's my opinion.
Yeah.
Who do you think about UCLA, Sean Ryan?
I'll have to do some research, but I mean, like this year is not a big draft class, even though it's quarterbacks aren't big, even the running backs too. So this might be an offensive line, defensive line depth draft, maybe.
And I hope you're right, Billy. Hopefully, we do get the sleepers in the draft.
I honestly think that if the Bears are smart, they go wide receiver in free agency, and their second round pick should be a lineman. Whoever they can get, that's the best available guy at that point. I just think it's loaded with talent in free agency at wide receiver. I think it would be stupid for them to draft a wide receiver, in my opinion. I mean, these guys that are out there are 25 years old.
If we don't get Clark, who else would you want, Jay? What do you think?
Well, there's a lot of guys out there. I wouldn't want to spend Godwin money or Adams money. Them guys are going to get or want ridiculous amounts of money, I think. Who else is there? Schuster's he's a possession guy, in my opinion. I don't think he's a red zone guy, but he'll I think he could be a 100-catch guy.
Yeah.
But it's hard to say. Like I said, my favorite out of the people that I heard was Chark, just because he showed a lot of talent, but he's been hampered by injuries.
Yeah, he broke his ankle.
And I was hearing rumors about, like I said, about the bigger wide receiver, but the rumor was about Dallas's Michael Gallup. I mean, if some reason they'd sign him, it would be like a Al Davis Raider team, just all fucking speed, which cannot do. We need a big receiver.
And Gallup's another guy. He had flashes.
Yep.
Had gotten hurt.
Well, what is his? Not to interrupt you guys, but what is his asking price? Because the thing that I don't want the Bears to do is to spend half of their money on just getting a receiver. So is his asking price around $7 million, $8 million, $10 million, $12 million?
Well, Chark is like 12, but I don't see like anything for Gallup, but I don't know what they want for him.
Because I think we got to start paying attention to the money aspect of it, to the fact to where the Bears do not have a lot of money. We know that maybe 10 or 12 of their free agents they're probably going to bring back, just guys on minimum deals or whatnot. But as far as free agency goes, I don't see them going after a big free agent unless they do a trade. That's just
and
my
then
opinion.
usually with the trade comes the draft picks. and we can't afford that either.
Right.
Losing draft picks.
Well, they got a lot. If they cut a few of these guys, they'll make some more room. That's for sure. It's hard to say because, the reason why I don't mind a Schuster move is because I think he's going to have to take a 1-year prove it deal. I really do. I don't see him getting. I mean, he already took less money to stay in Pittsburgh the last time, so I think he's going to have to do a prove it deal. I really do, because these guys, running backs and wide receivers, and just running backs even more, are, they don't play around anymore. Look at Kamara and Elliott got money, but usually these guys they're expendable. And they just bring more guys in the draft, and there's a lot of guys get thrown around. That's for sure.
I actually pulled up the free agency list here, and it is pretty up there. I said a few weeks ago it'd be more like Mike Williams or something. You know what I mean? Because
Williams wants like $15 million.
What's that?
Williams wants like $15 million though. That's a lot.
Yeah, what you want, what you get's two different things. Look at Adams; he wants 30. They're more than likely gonna franchise tag him for what, like 18? Like, I don't know the exact number, but it's all about saving money, especially when you ain't got the money on the cap to do it.
Yeah, the Bears definitely need playmakers on the offensive side of the ball.
For sure, because Juju last year he made $8 million. Do you think he earned his $8 million?
No,
he was hurt half the year.
That's why I said he's going to have to take a 1-year prove it, and it's going to be less money than he made taking the original cut to stay there.
I see, and Mike Williams and stuff. I mean, Justin Herbert and him had a good connection last year. Very good connection last year.
And Williams is another big body.
Yep.
He's another big boy.
For sure.
Well, he's cheaper than Adams, so I mean that's good, but I don't think we'll get
Adams. Yeah, he's not going to go anywhere. If he does, he's not going to go to Chicago like at all. I guarantee it. We don't have the money to spend what he wants.
No.
$30 million. That's like quarterback money. You ain't getting that.
Right.
We all probably know more than likely Rodgers stays in Green Bay. Adams is going to stay in Green Bay as well. But if Rodgers leaves or something happens there, I believe Adams leaves as well.
Rodgers isn't leaving.
I think Devontae Adams' stats are inflated because of Aaron Rodgers, to be honest with you. I mean, he's a good possession, great route runner, but
no,
man,
no, Billy.
I would never spend that money. I would never spend that kind of money on a guy. I mean, look at Cooper Kupp, man. I mean, look at what that guy's done this year. What was his salary? I can't even look it up right now. I don't have my computer next to me, but
give me a sec. I'll look it up for you.
What's
Billy,
up? How you
Billy,
doing?
if Aaron Rodgers goes anywhere, he's going to Pittsburgh.
He's not leaving though. They just hired who is that coach they just hired for him that he worked with
quarterback
before?
coach Tom Clements.
Yeah, he's not leaving.
According to Sport Track, Cooper Kupp this year had a base salary of $14,875,000 with a $1.5 million signing bonus, or a cap hit of $18,675,000.
And he won the Triple Crown this year.
Yep.
He done actually 3 huge accomplishments. I think they rated him with Jerry Rice. He did everything Jerry Rice did in his career in 1 year, I believe.
Yep, you're right. They showed that during the Super Bowl, I believe. I mean, once your name gets thrown out there like that, that's big time. That kid has got a really good football IQ.
Yep.
It's just you got to find the guys that mesh. I don't know. I just don't think Adams is worth $30 million. I don't think.
And Kupp had the chemistry right off with Stafford. It's just unbelievable. They're working in the offseason and all that stuff. But no, I'm not a Pittsburgh fan, you bitch. Anyway, Jesus Christ, here we go. But yeah, the chemistry with him and Stafford was big in LA. Big.
Yeah, Kupp is good.
Yep.
Really good.
Christopher said offensive line and quarterback should be our top priorities. And not sure if you guys know, but the cornerback free agency, that thing's pretty big, actually. It's pretty huge.
Yeah, I've seen it.
There's so many names out there. Some of the guys
that we can get for cheap.
Some of the guys I'm not even that familiar with, but
there's lots of names, but there's nobody that's really any good. That's the problem. The only guy, literally, I was talking with Jeremy B about this last night. The only guy on that list that's really, in my mind, worth starting material is probably Marcus Mariota, and a lot of teams are going to fawn after him for starting duties. Because if you take a look at him, the only other starter in that group is maybe Ryan Fitzpatrick, and I'm sorry, but he's getting up there in years, and he's not going to be able to command a whole lot of money, especially after being injured for the majority of the year this last year. Just my opinion.
I think Eli Apple stays in Cincinnati.
I agree.
Yeah, he was a big name coming out of college, man. He bounced around quite a bit.
But then the Giants didn't know how to use him. He just was terrible in New York.
Right.
Yeah.
And I appreciate it, Billy. I love you being on the show as well.
He means talking shit in the comments. That's what he's talking
Billy.
about.
Hey, Billy.
We talk about
Billy.
the show too.
We know you're an Eagles fan, Billy. Fucker.
That other Ohio State wide receiver you were talking about is Garrett Wilson, who is most likely guaranteed to be a first rounder.
Yeah, I was going after the other guy, Chris Olave, too. They
Chris
said
Olave
he might drop to the second round.
The second round, possibly.
Yeah. And like I said, you got to look at like I said before, the Burrows, Jamar Chase. Maybe that can work in Chicago if they do sign Chris Olave, or another Ohio State.
The biggest thing, and it's just like the Bengals had a problem with. You guys need to work on your O-line. I mean, as a Lions fan, do you know how nice it was to have the 6th rated passing O-line?
Hey, is Devontae Adams still coming to Chicago? Asking for a friend.
I don't. I'm asking for a Packer friend. Is he worth $30 million?
Hell no.
There you go. Thank you.
There's only one receiver I would have ever paid that amount of money to, and he's been long retired.
Oh, I didn't even see David.
Calvin Johnson?
Not even Calvin Johnson. I would have paid him close to that, but I still wouldn't have paid him $30 million. The only guy I would have paid $30 million for would have been Jerry Rice, the GOAT of all wide receivers. That's the only guy I would have paid $30 million for. And he didn't even play in an era when wide receivers were making that much money.
Do you guys think if you guys could get a quarterback like Matthew Stafford, you'd hit the big game or what?
You know, Bill, that's about as tired and old as my grandmother. Why don't you come up with something original?
Well, I just want to put the Devontae Adams thing into perspective. Okay, Devontae Adams, asking price $30 million. You can get Mike Williams,
Marty Booker,
DJ Chark for the same amount of money. There you go.
You can get Mike Williams, Mecole Hardman, and Christian Kirk for $30 million.
I'd take that any day. I'd take the depth.
Sometimes it's more about having more guys rather than just having one great wide receiver because, again, you can double and triple cover a guy all day long. If you've got 2 or 3 good wide receivers to throw to, it spreads the offense out.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, I'd rather have the depth.
Yep.
Then how come? Why did you guys sign Matt?
Well, look at Cincinnati. The 2 Higgins and Chase under 25. They both had over 1,000 yards this year.
And Tyler Boyd was almost at 1,000.
Yep.
Boyd's a good receiver, man. I always like Tyler Boyd.
He's the one that does that dirty work over the middle.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So we're all saying who we want, but who do you think the Bears will actually get? Because they don't usually do what we want.
They might even sign A-Rob on a discount.
Oh my God!
You
You know what? There was a stat I seen last year, not 2 years ago. A-Rob had 151 targets, and this year he had only 66 targets. That's a big drop because
his
he favored
his separation rate
Fields,
dropped from 1.75 yards to under 1.
Yeah, he favored Mooney all year.
Plus, he was I wouldn't say 100% injured, but he said he wasn't the same when he got COVID.
COVID messes with people a lot differently. It just depends on the person. For some people, they can bounce right back and they're fine. For other people, it has a lingering effect.
If you got your taste back, you're good to go. I don't want to hear those excuses.
Jeez Louise.
But yeah, you know, like Samantha says, Bears usually disappoint us. But if we don't get Juju or Mike Williams, a big receiver for us, I think we're going to be in the same boat. Just my opinion.
I know.
Let's keep that in mind. That was the old regime, though.
The draft, when he saw the Lions take Penei Sewell, he goes, "Those motherfuckers."
Yeah, I was pissed. I wanted him. I'll be honest. I wanted Sewell too. Fucker.
Well, you have to ask yourself this question because obviously all of us, we just got done watching the Super Bowl. Do you think that the Bengals would prefer to have had Penei Sewell blocking rather than Jamar Chase catching passes? Because Jamar Chase in that Super Bowl was pretty much almost non-existent. But they could have really used some O-line help to block Joe Burrow. And I'm pretty sure Joe Burrow's MCL sprain right now wishes he had Penei Sewell.
Well, yeah, he was he was sacked 8 times in the Super Bowl?
Something like that. I don't remember. But the whole point is that he hardly ever had a clean pocket.
No, never.
And in the game against the Titans, with the worst rushing defense in the league, was sacked 11 times against the Titans.
Yeah.
Well, the other thing
but
too
2 of them
was
were called back due to penalty.
I'm in a Cincinnati Bengals. Don't ask me why. I'm in a Cincinnati Bengals group, and all I heard from all these guys was bitching about the penalties. It's like, if you can't convert a 4th and 1 in the Super Bowl, you're not going to win. I'm sorry.
Should have complained about the offensive line, if anything, not the refs.
Got to hold accountability.
The funny thing is, though, is that if you go back 1 year to 2020, when the Bengals were 4-11-1, they converted 70% of their 4th down attempts. So my question is, if you could do that last year with less talent, how could you not do it this year with better talent? And it's a 4th and 1. It's not that far. Like, literally, you could pick up that with just jumping forward.
Unless David Montgomery's running a wildcat and runs right up the middle, that's a different story too, fucker. I remember that too. But yeah, I understand what you're saying.
Who was your guys' best O lineman this year for the Bears?
Probably it's just Cody Whitehair, probably.
Let me look it up on PFF real quick.
That's just my opinion. Cody Whitehair's been there. You know,
our offensive line was beat up and changed, switched. You go over here, you go over there.
That was the only question coming out in the draft about Tevin Jenkins was health because he got injured his sophomore year.
There was one site, and I can't remember. I think it was FanSided that said that Jenkins was the most overrated offensive lineman to come out of the draft.
I just hope he doesn't end up like Charles Leno.
Holding balls. Everybody said that Alex
holding
Leatherwood
balls, full starts.
But he actually proved he was worth the pick.
I even think back to Colombo. I mean, that guy was supposed to be the second coming of Jesus for us.
I mean, New York had, I wanted a couple years ago. I wanted Nate Solder, and he's also a free agent this year. But he sucked he sucked in New York, but never know.
He's also what now? 32, 33 years old.
Oh, we're all young, Jeremy. We're all young.
Yeah, we're all under 50.
Yeah.
I'm growing old gracelessly.
Well, like I said, we never know if we like any position. We never know how they turn out with a different team. Like I said, look at Charles Leno. He sucked for us, but then he went to Washington and made the Pro Bowl.
Right.
So we never know. It's all chemistry.
Look at Leonard Floyd.
Oh man, Jesus Christ, that hurts still.
I mean,
it should.
I always like Floyd.
Everybody makes the big deal about Matt Stafford. There was actually 4 Lions in the Super Bowl, 1 for the Bengals and 3 for the Rams.
Hey, this question is to Jason. He said possibly A-Rob could take a pay cut and sign. What do you think his pay cut would be?
Well, judging from his stats from last year, a pretty significant one.
$5 million or under?
Yeah. And remember, before last year, he wanted 18 to 19 million.
Give him $5 million and work up his bonuses.
Yeah, there you go.
I'd fish out a 1 year prove it. I'd fish out a 1 year prove it for him.
He lives. I mean, that guy lives a lifestyle, and he's not going to just jump from what he was making all the way down to $5 million. I just don't see that happening.
Yeah, I don't think so
especially if you got a wife and kids. I just don't see that happening. That's
he's got plenty of money, unless he did stupid shit with it. Because I mean, look at us. We make pocket change compared to them.
Oh yeah.
They all do stupid shit with their money, though.
Not all of
That's
them.
why the majority of them are broke by the time they're done.
Yeah.
Let's be honest though. No one's giving A-Rob $18 million.
No.
Right.
No one.
But tell me, if you got a raise at work, do you save it or do you just spend more?
Oh, I spend it.
Me too.
By the way, to answer that question, who your guys' best offensive lineman was this year, that would be Jason Peters, your left tackle.
What the fuck? He was
that's a damn shame. I'm
he
sorry.
was injured.
That's
right. That's the thing. According to PFF, his overall PFF grade was 77.5. Your guys' next best one was your right guard, James Daniel.
Oh my goodness.
I could see Daniels,
but geez, Peters at 77. That's how many fucking pancakes he ate before each game. Jesus Christ.
He's a big boy.
Oh yeah.
Very big.
Jesus mighty.
Hey,
wow, that's a shock.
I just
I
remember
thought Cody Whitehair would be up there.
I just remember Myles
Whitehair?
Garrett swimming him and slapping him in the face about 7 times on his way to the sack.
Where is Whitehair on that list, Dave?
Cody Whitehair, according to PFF, is, well, I'll just actually show you since I have my camera. This is his PFF scores.
Okay.
It's very
Good
hard
God.
to see. You might want to tell us.
Wow.
Overall, 66.2. Pass blocking, 61.3. Run blocking is his best at 66.3. So he's a better run blocker than he is a pass blocker.
Yeah, we know that.
Yeah. And let me guess. Hey, let me guess. Hey, David, isn't Sam Mustipher our worst offensive lineman this year?
Oh, for sure. Their center, 51.8 PFF grade.
Yeah. See ya. There's your draft answer right there. We need.
I think everybody knows we got a problem at center.
Yeah.
They just need to move Whitehair back to center. I mean, I don't understand why they took him to center.
Here's the thing. I would agree with you there about center because just to put this in perspective with the Lions, I talked about with Jeremy last night. If you take a look at the time to throw Jared Goff had for the first 4 weeks, it was top 15 or better every week. After we lost Frank Ragnow in week 4, it cratered into the 30s and low 20s. So if you take a look at how important a competent center is, it can make a world of difference on how well your line performs.
Yep.
So, I mean, if you could find a Frank Ragnow in this draft, all the power to you. But I don't think there is one in this draft.
Or we just trade for Quentin Nelson. How about it? Let's do it now. Let's get him.
Yeah, how much you willing to give up? Because you ain't got a first-round draft pick this year.
We'll just give him $30 million. Fuck it.
all signing bonus.
Yeah. Well, that's the rumor. The Giants might be trading for Quentin Nelson. So, and we, man.
Well, Giants got to make some moves to get back to where they were. So
Yeah.
I don't blame them.
Yeah.
And the receiver that came from Detroit, he literally said he had a crap year.
Galladay
was just terrible.
I mean, Daniel Jones is no fucking Joe Montana either.
No,
he's not. But again, the point of the matter is the Giants sunk how much money into Kenny Galladay for him to be the guy, and he goes out there and literally our offensive tackle Taylor Decker has more touchdown catches than him. And Taylor Decker started the year with a broken finger. Like, come on now. You got a guy who gets paid, $25 million to go out and catch touchdown passes, and our offensive tackle who had a broke finger and was out for half the year with it goes in and has more touchdown catches than him. I'm sorry. That's just embarrassing.
That's a mess up on the defense, because when you see that kind of guy go to an eligible receiver, something's up. Usually. It's a trick play.
Usually still, but again, it's just one of those things. That's what he's paid to do. And again, you would think it's not even a 16-game season. It's a 17-game season. You would think at some point he could make a touchdown catch for all the money he's getting paid.
Yeah, I honestly don't think Galladay was healthy all season.
He was, and I had him on my fantasy, and he sat the bench all year. I think I played him once because I had a bunch of COVID guys and on the bye.
Well,
So David, if you were
the reason we didn't keep him was because he couldn't stay healthy. Literally, we had one season where he was able to stay healthy the entirety of the season. The rest of the time he was with us, it was always he was on and off as far as the bench being healthy and not healthy. And he still wanted that kind of money. It's like, no, sorry, you're not worth it. And the Giants proved that he wasn't worth it.
So, David, what do you think? How much you think Davante Adams is worth?
Honestly, I'm pretty sure Bill's listening back there like Big Brother, but
that's a good show. That's one of my favorite shows, Big Brother.
If I'm going to be fair, if you can't beat Cooper Kupp at the Triple Crown, it's like I can't justify him getting more than $20 million in my mind. I just can't. Because let's understand something here. I give Davante Adams all of his props. The guy can ball. He can do a whole lot of things that a lot of guys can't do. But when Cooper Kupp has the Triple Crown in 1 year and his total salary, base and signing bonus, is pretty much $18.5 million, I don't know how you can justify getting paid twice that when, one, you've never been a Triple Crown winner in football, and on top of that, you haven't won a Super Bowl in, did he actually go to the Packers Super Bowl with Aaron Rodgers, or was he not even on the team then?
10 years ago. Yeah, he was on.
Okay, so there you go. So it's been a decade since he's won a Super Bowl with Aaron Rodgers. So it's like, I don't know how you can justify getting paid $30 million, because I can name a guy who thought he was worth all that kind of money, and the Washington then Redskins paid him that kind of money, Albert Haynesworth, and he did nothing. I'm not saying Davante Adams will be another Albert Haynesworth, but it's like I can't see how you can justify paying $30 million for a guy when he doesn't have the same achievements as somebody that literally went out and did it this year.
Well, I'm just saying that Matt Stafford is tied with Aaron Rodgers in Super Bowl wins. I'm just putting that out there too.
Oh boy.
Oh shit.
That kind of hurts the Lions fans too.
Yeah, it does. But at the same time, it's like, listen, I'm over it. I've literally said it on my personal show. I've said it on the Motor City Lions talk show. I've said it on Smoking Jeremy B's show. The Detroit Rams crap, that whole Stafford craze, I'm over it. I've been over it. Like, great. Congratulations. He won his Super Bowl. But you know what? They're not going back. The Rams are not going to get another Super Bowl. I don't care what anyone says. They literally mortgaged their entire future to win their Super Bowl this year. Because think about it. They don't have a first-round draft pick this year. They don't have a second-round draft pick this year. In fact, their first pick in this draft isn't until the compensatory picks in the late third round. And they've got to find a way to bring back OBJ, and Von Miller, and they're $15 million over the cap. Now, I get it, cap space being what it is, they can find some way to make that happen. But again, you got to bring those two guys back just to get Aaron Donald back, because Aaron Donald has said, if they come back, I'll come back. If they don't, then he's out.
He was having some brewskis, too, he said.
That's true.
But
John
that's huge. Like, huge.
John McNabb just actually put this in here. Adams has not won a Super Bowl. He was drafted in 2014.
Oh, I thought you meant, did Aaron Rodgers, when did he win the Super Bowl? That's
no, I was talking about Devontae Adams. I know Aaron Rodgers has a Super Bowl win.
No.
Aaron Rodgers won his Super Bowl in what, 2010, 2011?
Yeah, I think it was 10 years ago, 11.
Yeah, so I knew he had his. I just didn't know if Devontae Adams had won one. So again, he doesn't even have a Super Bowl ring. And he's wanting $30 million? No, sorry.
Well, the other thing too is about these wide receivers that I think about. Look at how many years Tom Brady didn't have anybody at receiver. I mean, fucking no one. And excuse the language, but shit, I mean, the guys that he was making Super Bowls with were nobodies. I mean,
yeah, and then he made him into somebody's. He made Wes Welker into the best slot receiver in the game.
Edelman,
yeah. Danny Amendola. Yeah. Again, he made all those no-name wide receivers into guys that other teams wanted. Hell, Wes Welker went and then won another Super Bowl, or at least went to another Super Bowl with the Broncos.
The best picture ever is the guys that went from the Dolphins to the Patriots and won the Super Bowl, and they sent all the guys from the Dolphins a picture of them all sticking them up the middle finger. That was great. It's on the internet somewhere, but yeah.
Well, like I said, a lot of people don't like Tom Brady, but he was just good. I mean, there's some Super Bowls there that they shouldn't have won against Seattle. I mean, that was just playing out stupid. Seattle had the best running back, toughest running back in the league, and you're throwing it at the 1 yard line into the zone defense, and that's when Malcolm Butler. So, but yeah, I know what you're saying, Jason. Tom Brady, I think he's the GOAT. I really do.
I love Tom Brady. I like Florida Tom better though.
I mean, it's just people don't like these players because they're so good. I mean, I know a lot of Tom Brady haters. It's like, how can you hate a guy like that?
He's a cheater.
Yeah.
I got a special insight into this because my dad, first and foremost, is a huge U of M fan, number one. And number two, he's a huge Brady fan. And both of my uncles are as well. So for me, it's like, okay, I literally all my life had to hear about how great Tom Brady is. And I give the guy mad props. The guy's got 7 Super Bowl wins. The guy's been to the Super Bowl 9 times in his career. It's like, dude, the guy's clearly a champion. The guy clearly wins.
And he got a fine-ass wife.
Oh, yeah.
Well, that too. He's also dated some of the hottest women in all the world. At least he's better at getting women to the finish line than Aaron Rodgers.
His wife makes more money than he does.
Yes, she does. She's
yes,
a billionaire.
But here's my point that I'm trying to get at here. If you take a look at some of the other big guys that have gone to Super Bowls, whether it's been Peyton Manning, whether it's been Joe Montana, they never had the amount of, I don't even want to call it scandals because it wasn't really scandals, but the Deflate Gate, the Spy Gate, all these different gates, so to speak, that surround Tom Brady. Again, I'm not saying Tom Brady had anything to do with it, but it's just one of those things that sits in the back of your mind and you're wondering, was there not potentially something funny going on in the background? Again, I'm not debating Tom Brady's talent. Tom Brady has had immense talent over 20 plus years in the league. But again, everyone's going to say, yes, he won 7 Super Bowls, but let's take a look at these other things that are going on in the background. You're not going to say that about Peyton Manning or or Joe Montana. It was just like, yeah, they won their Super Bowls. Great. Yeah. Tom Brady, it's like, Deflate Gate, Spy Gate, or any other gate you can think of.
Tuck rule.
Yeah, the Tuck rule. That's what started it all.
Yeah.
Well, we're also in the social media era of life now too. There's a lot more people paying attention to every little detail of everything now.
Yeah.
I don't think Joe Montana had to worry about that so much.
No.
No, he retired well before the social media age officially started. But
hey, hey, David, let me bring something up while you were bragging on Tom Brady.
Oh, here we go.
Here we go. What do you got, Bill?
You're talking about, deflate gate and gate this and gate that. But what about in 2015 when they were playing the Seahawks in the Super Bowl, and the night before the Seahawks hotel fire alarm went off at 3 a.m. and at 5 a.m? You don't think Bill Belichick was behind that?
Oh, then you got the fire alarm gate now too. So there you go. Add that
Hey, don't get me wrong. How do I say this? It's a cutthroat business. People will do anything to win. And again, I freaking take a look at Bill Belichick, and I know somebody's done the meme somewhere. I look at him like Emperor Palpatine from the fucking Star Wars universe, and he's just in the back going, yes, how can I win? How can I cheat? Again, that's what I look with Bill Belichick, because he's always grouchy. Like, I hardly if ever see that man smile. It's like, dude, he's got to have a fucking piece of coal up his ass, turning it into a diamond.
So David, do you think that the Bears and Lions should cheat to get there?
My ethical side says no, but my desire to win side says yes.
Yeah,
ethically,
great.
I mean, let's be frankly honest here. Like, it's hard. Everyone knows it's freaking hard to win in the NFL. Like, it's hard as hell to win. You look at the freaking teams this year, whether it was the Jaguars, the Texans, or any other team. The Lions, the best example. Everyone thought the Lions were just going to get rolled over, but actually in a majority of our games, we put up a pretty decent fight against our opponents. So even the bad teams, you actually have to put some work in to actually win against. And again, I just speak the truth. I'm a diehard Lions fan, but I speak the truth. I know my team wasn't that good this year, but we were in a lot of games versus getting blown out every game.
Right. Yep.
So,
I mean, that Tucker 66-yard field goal still got to hit your heart.
That freaking play should have never counted. It was freaking how many seconds over the play clock, and they still let that shit go through?
Damn.
Hey, don't be hating on his big leg over fucker officiating.
Hey, I got nothing against the guy kicking a 66-yard field goal, only when it's legal.
Well, just like the Cody Parkey double doink. Did Eagles get Did Eagles get that timeout in before the ball was snapped? Go watch the video.
I was about to say we could go back and forth with different things that have happened to our franchises that are just like killers because of officiating. The next one I can think of is the freaking Megatron catch rule.
Oh yeah. Well, hey, you got to have control all the way to the ground. You spiked it before you.
That rule wasn't even around when he got there. It was dumb. Like, he catches the ball, it goes to the ground, and then it comes out of his hand. Nope, no catch. It's like, but that rule wasn't around then. They had to make the rule because of him.
Oh, buddy. So, I mean, the Packers, they have the ref gate. So there's some teams that have the gates, but we don't have any. I feel bad.
We're just not good enough to cheat, I guess.
Yeah.
Like, you got to be able to look for an edge. What are we?
I mean, I wish we had the refs on our side, but we don't.
I mean, if we did, we'd all be happy because we'd be winning.
What if you got the Super Bowl gate? Because you can't get there, man.
That's all right. I mean, if maybe Justin Fields can put his arm around the ref like Aaron Rodgers does. You know,
I think Aaron Rodgers takes him out to lunch too, buddy.
I wouldn't fucking doubt it.
If you take somebody out to lunch, he surely ain't taking the women.
Yeah, they're taking him somewhere.
Oh, shots fired.
You get to go.
Oh my goodness.
That's funny shit, though.
We can really go back and forth all day long.
Oh, I just got it in the chats.
Yeah.
I always say my best shot is purgatory. So I hope I'm not up in purgatory looking down, still waiting for the Bears to get to another Super Bowl. Because it's been a long time, man. It's been a long time.
2006. Fuck.
Yeah.
Well, unfortunately, we're going to have to give this new regime a shot, whether we like it or not. So
hope so.
That's what we stuck with for right now. I'll give it a 3-year window.
That's the way it usually happens.
Jeez, we've been rebuilding.
That's the bare minimum. That's the bare minimum any new regime should get is 3 years to actually have a chance to implement their culture, implement their program. Because, how do I say this? Because of the whole Bengals thing, because they went from 4-11-1, now they're in the Super Bowl the next year. Everybody's going to be expecting all these teams that have done bad to do the exact same thing the next year. And it's like, dude, that's an anomaly. It's not the expectation. We wish it. We hope it as fans. But I don't realistically think that the Bears can do it. I mean, could they? Maybe. It's a possibility in the world of fantasy and make-believe. But, again, you've got to give these regimes at least time to implement what they're trying to do. Otherwise, it's just like you're going to keep recycling them over and over again. And then you're not going to give the team a chance to actually start coming together. So, for me, it's like you've got to give these guys at least 3 years, whether it's a GM, a head coach, whatever.
But we know our Bears fans, we're going to be calling for people to be fired after a year. That's what we do. So
as long as we beat Detroit on Thanksgiving every year, that's fine with me.
Hey, you don't even know if you're playing us on Thanksgiving this year.
I'm hoping.
That's not always true, Samantha. That's not always true.
I'm hoping.
His first year was his best year.
that's true.
Yeah,
But
that's
only
he
because it was
riding.
his best year is the only reason people supported him. Otherwise, we would have been calling for him to be fired then too.
Yeah,
Was that more Trubisky? Was that more Trubisky? Or was that more him? Yeah, think about that too.
That was when the trick plays were working.
It was the trick plays. He got lucky. People didn't know what he was going to be calling.
Yeah.
But
Pretty much everything worked.
After that season, they just pumped Trubisky's head like just damn big though, for real.
Yeah, but
I mean, Nagy got coach of the year. I wanted him out after the first year. Fuck it.
I don't know, man. that team was built by another coach too, pretty much. And the other thing too is, I never thought Mitch Trubisky was a bad quarterback. They could have kept him over Andy Dalton and paid way less money.
Way less.
Shit.
By half.
And he's a better quarterback.
Jason, you miss John Fox, don't you?
I think Ken would be disputing with you right now, Jason.
What's that?
I said if Ken was on here, he'd be disputing with you because he kind of likes Red Rocket.
Man, there's no way that not at this point. To me,
You'd have to take a look at some facts here. Like last night, I was on with Smoking Jeremy B, and we were just having some fun looking at the next-gen passing grids. So I'm sure you guys have probably seen a few of them. If not, literally what it shows is a passing grid, and it has these little boxes in it. And literally they're either red, yellow, or green behind the line of scrimmage and over the line of scrimmage. If you take a look at Mitch Trubisky, just based on that, his passing grids aren't all that, quote-unquote, terrible. But if you take a look for this year's Andy Dalton and, unfortunately, Justin Fields, they like half of the field for Andy Dalton is red, and for the majority of the field for Justin Fields, it's red. And that means they're below average compared to the rest of the league. So, again, I'm not going to say that I would have preferred Mitch Trubisky by any stretch of the imagination, but would he have been worse than what you guys had this year? Honestly, I'm going to say no. Because he'd been in the system with Nagy for so many years, he had to have been an improvement over what you guys had.
And he's $7 million cheaper.
Ooh.
True.
That fucking natty ice is going right through me. Good God.
Yeah, what did Trubisky sign for? $3 million?
I'll look it up right now.
I think it was 3.
I didn't agree with that anyway because, and I'll say it to this day, the drafting, you don't draft first of all, move up in the draft to draft a quarterback that only started 12 games at a basketball school. I didn't agree with it. Don't.
So to answer your question, it says right here, according to Sport Track, Mitch Trubisky signed a 1-year, $2.5 million contract, including a $500,000 signing bonus with $2 million full-on guaranteed.
Yeah, so $3 million.
But McNabb is in the comments saying we would have had to pay him $24 million.
No chance in this life or the next.
No,
I ain't got nothing.
I can't even help myself from laughing at that one.
I don't have no comment on that.
Dude, there's no chance. Not a chance. The
How the
Bears
hell
would have
did you
done the
come up- how the
exact
hell did
same
you
thing
come up
I
with
just
that
did.
number?
They looked at me like, yeah, right. We might pay you half of that. Okay, his fifth-year option was $24 million, but that doesn't mean they had to pick up his fifth-year option.
Right.
They didn't have to do that.
And they didn't even do it. They let him go.
Exactly. Again, and everyone said it for the Bears. Like, again, the biggest thing that you guys need to fix is your O-line, and you need to get some wide receivers now that Allen Robinson is likely out the door. Again, I don't like Justin Fields. When Lions fans were all about trying to draft him to replace Matthew Stafford, I was like, no, don't do it. Don't do it. I don't like Ohio State quarterbacks. I don't want to go anywhere near an Ohio State quarterback. No. But if the Bears are going to give Justin Fields a proper chance, they need to give him protection on the O-line, and they need to give him weapons to throw to. That's just being fair. It's being objective. I personally don't like Justin Fields, but again, that's just the way it is. Looks like McNabb's getting a little pissy right now.
That's my boy McNabb.
We're, the curse of the Ohio State quarterback is real shit, man. It is.
Well, it is.
Ohio State quarterback
Look
has
at
done anything.
their entire franchise. Not much better.
There's not been one entire Ohio State quarterback that has done anything in the NFL. And don't dare throw Joe Burrow in that conversation.
No,
I don't give any cares what anyone says. Joe Burrow did not graduate from Ohio State. He transferred from there and went to LSU, and that's why he's a successful quarterback in the NFL, not because of Ohio State.
Nope.
Yeah, it was a little bit of the coaches with Mitch Trubisky, but also he couldn't read a defense. So, I mean,
no, he couldn't.
That didn't help much either.
Like I said, after his
stats weren't that bad, man. They
weren't. They weren't.
Like I said, after his shoulder injury, it was just like he was afraid to run. Like he didn't ever since that shoulder injury. I don't want to move. I want to stay in the pocket. I don't want to move. I want to run at all. He was afraid to get hit.
I feel like Mitch made a lot of bad decisions that he got lucky on, and that helped him to become a bad quarterback, in my opinion, because he was always looking for that same kind of play that he would get lucky on, and that's why he was getting picked off all the time.
Well, I mean, to go back to that previous point about being hurt and not wanting to go out there and run, we see it all the time with these, I'm not even going to say mobile quarterbacks, because there's a lot of good mobile quarterbacks out there that know the difference between when to scramble and when to stay in the pocket. When you're talking about scrambling quarterbacks, you talk about any scrambling quarterback that primarily runs. They get broke, they get hurt, and then they're never the same quarterback. You can literally go on down the line, whether it's RG3, whether it's Cam Newton, whether it's Mitch Trubisky. They get hurt, and then they're never the same guy afterwards, whether it's because they don't want to get hurt again or because they're physically just not able to perform at the same level again.
Or when we're up 20-0 on the Packers and Aaron Rodgers gets hurt, he goes into the locker room, gets steroids shot up, and then he comes out and beats us. That's the only way.
You don't need the locker room for that. That's the tent.
Well, they didn't have a tent when he got hurt. He went right back to the locker room.
The thing, and going back to Trubisky, and I'm not going to beat this up anymore, but the thing I look at about him is his record as a starter. It's good. It's fucking good. I'm just saying it is. Bad decisions or not, he's a winner. He really is.
Okay, are you going to say the same thing for Tim Tebow?
I don't know, man.
Tim Tebow had a great starting record. He won a playoff game, but are we going to say that he was a good quarterback? Absolutely not.
He won a playoff game in overtime against Pittsburgh.
Yes, he did, at home field. But that was it.
Yeah, that was it.
And I guarantee you on that throw, he was praying to sweet Mother Mary, God, and Jesus all in the same sentence, saying, please catch this pass.
Yeah, and they answered him.
And the other thing with Fields, too, I think Fields does have a lot of talent. I mean, he really does. He has He has a really good amount of talent, but it's just putting it together. You gotta, and like you were saying, you gotta put guys around him to make him successful, to give him a chance. The guy's
Honestly,
got potential.
that's what you've got to do with every quarterback. It doesn't matter. Every quarterback needs to have a good supporting cast. I don't care what quarterback it is, Tom Brady, Peyton Manning, you can take any grade you want. They all need some sort of supporting cast around them because they can't do it themselves. They can't block defenders. They can't catch the passes themselves. They have to have somebody out there to actually help them. So everyone's like, oh, well, the quarterback's the reason we lost. Is he, though? Did the offensive line protect him well? Did the receivers catch their passes? Did they get separation so they could be wide open? Lots of things go into how and why a quarterback is either performing well or not performing well.
Well, that's what Belichick did in New England when Brady was there. He concentrated more because, Brady didn't have nobody. He made receivers better, yes, but Belichick always concentrated on the offensive line. Mm-hmm. My buddy was actually on the offensive line. I grew up with him, Chris Copen. He was the center for New England, and that offensive line was unreal. Kept them upright.
Again, it's one of those things where teams that do well, that when they draft their franchise quarterback or they get their guy, whether it's by draft, trade, free agency, whatever the case might be, take a look at what they then did. They built the team around the quarterback they had so they could be successful. Perfect example, when freaking Peyton Manning went to the Denver Broncos, John Elway did literally everything he could to give Peyton Manning exactly what he needed and wanted to make the team his own. And literally, they were in the playoffs every freaking year with Peyton Manning as their quarterback. And that was after they had Tim Tebow. So it's like, was it really Tim Tebow that was just making all these plays happen? Possibly. But because of what freaking the GM and the ownership of the Broncos did, they were able to take that team from being barely making it into the playoffs to going to 2 Super Bowls in 5 years.
Well, that's a big help too, because John Elway, it was a quarterback himself, so he knows what needs to get done. And yes, building a team around the quarterback is very important.
To answer Danny's question in the comments, we already talked about O-line. This is just open discussion to pretty much anything.
Well, Pace claims he's going to build around Fields now, so let's see if he actually does. That'll be the question.
If he does, it's going to be interesting. I mean, again, you guys don't have a first-round draft pick. You guys do have a second-round draft pick. So, again, with Pace, he's going to kind of have to get almost like Brad Holmesian or
why are we saying Pace? Poles, my bad. Poles.
Whatever, Poles. Sorry.
My Poles.
He's going to have to get like Les Snead or Brad Holmes. He's going to have to get very good at selecting his later-round picks and what he has at the top of the draft, because he can't miss on any of his draft picks. He absolutely has to hit every single draft pick he has, so that way he can give Justin Fields a fair shot going into his second year, because the first year, everyone will admit, was a terrible year. He didn't really get a lot out of it. This next year is going to be crucial for any development for Justin Fields to have.
Well, I think it depends on free agency too. If we get that big receiver through free agency like Mike Williams or Juju or Sharp, that depends on our first round, because we do need a center. There's most likely we're not going to get a center through free agency. Just throwing that out there. But we need that big receiver as well, big time.
As far like I mentioned in the beginning of the show, is moving Cody Whitehair back to center an option?
It could be
an option.
I like Whitehair at center.
I love Whitehair.
Unless we can get someone better than Whitehair, but
I mean, because he was a Pro Bowler when he was at that position.
And you got to think.
I agree with you, CJ. I see that happening if they can get the other guys to fill the other spots. I think they got to get a left tackle. That's my opinion. I don't, it's just an opinion, but I really think they need a left tackle. I think they need to move Jenkins to right and go from there. I mean, the left tackle is the most important spot on the line. It's the most important spot.
Have you guys heard that we signed a center? Because McNabb said we just signed a center. I didn't see anything.
I know we signed a long snapper.
We signed a long snapper.
And a punter. So that's the other question. We signed a long snapper and a punter. Is Pat O'Donnell gone now? That's a question. He's a free agent. Center from Tampa Bay. Hold on.
I think he's talking about Jensen.
Yeah, that's a long snapper. Come on, guys.
No.
Let's go.
Edgar is talking about Jensen, I think.
Yeah, the long snapper.
Yeah, he's talking somebody else.
Yeah.
Daniels needs to go to center. Holy shit.
No.
I don't think
Danny, I disagree with that.
Oh, my God.
I don't think that'd be a good move myself.
And I'm the one hungover. Jesus.
I don't think that's going to happen.
No. No, you don't cut white hair.
Cut white hair?
Y'all about to make me get off this thing. These comments. These comments are... I don't know. What are you guys thinking at all?
Center from Atlanta. Hold on.
Yeah, they're making changes. Like, they've made changes to the whole team, whole coaching staff. Like, everything's changed.
Oh, February 12th. Willie Wright, they signed a week ago.
Yeah, that was a futures contract.
Yeah, that was a futures contract. That's what I thought. Yeah, Jensen is the long snapper. Please, tell me, am I the only one hung over here?
No.
You're good. You're pretty calm.
Thanks.
I think.
No, you're getting pissed off, and I'm getting that way too with these damn.
My heart's pounding, but I think that's the natty ice.
Yeah, that kid we signed to a futures contract.
Yeah, that was a futures contract. Yeah. You getting ready? We're going now.
All right. I think that's going to cut it for the day. I might take a couple weeks off until we make a couple moves on free agencies or re-signings or whatever the case may be.
Hey.
I'll make a post and set an appointment up for everybody. And anybody in the comments, Bear fans, whatever, if you want to come on, you're more than happy to come on. I can drop the link in the comments like I did a little bit ago. Want to appreciate everybody. Thanks for coming on, Dave.
I need you to go shopping.
Hopefully I see you guys next year as well.
No, I need to go pick my dad up.
Bear fan Dan.
I mean, whenever you're ready.
Dan, Billy Defense Flores. If I missed anybody, I apologize.
Budweiser's, Jesus. I wish it was Budweiser.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Frozen Tundra podcast.
Go, Pat, go!
Hump Day! Yeah! Welcome to the next episode of Halas Hall Report.
Stop, Bears.
Yeah!
Hey, you want Detroit Lions football? The hits, the action, the biting the kneecaps? It's all here. This is our show. Get ready for the Motor City Lions Talk Show.
How's it going, everybody? Welcome to the Packers Show.
I was very happy on how our defense stepped up because the few weeks prior they haven't been doing so good.
Play fake. Cousins taking a deep shot. Jefferson's got separation, and he's got the catch inside the 40. Jefferson still going. See you later.
Welcome to the Bears Show. It is game day. We are doing the live shows on Sunday mornings at 9:45 a.m.
It's showtime!
The final hour of the show, we allow every fan base on, considering Bear fans, Viking fans, Lion fans, even Bucks fans come on. So come check out the show.
Let's get ready to rumble!
A lot of weight there. Oh, well, at least 40 pounds on.